Morning, today is the 23rd of March and here we are outside the NEC. We take the car today, viewers. This might be horrific costs of parking because there's a rail replacement bus service and I don't like rail replacement bus services, viewers. So we are part 11 of a slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2025 Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show. As always, I do apologise in advance for any incorrect information, which happens all the time. If I fall over, if I get interrupted by announcements, if this is just a terrible series of videos, I'm afraid it's just the way it goes on this channel. So we're on our way straight into Hall 5 and let's see if we can get this wrapped up as quickly as possible. So there are 3 cars outside each one of the entrances. We better actually just get these done so I don't forget to do this later on, because we are filming everything that we can talk about. 2002 Porsche Boxster S. Unusual colour combination. Very sort of late 90s, early 2000s colour with matching interior. Ocean jade with a nephrite green and leather interior. Apparently the owner knew straight away it was a perfect car for him. I mean, that is absolutely immaculate. Can't deny that. And yellow brake colours. Right, let's go to the next entrance and see what the next car is. Must admit, viewers, that does look quite nice. It's 1985 Ford Escort gear, but that engine is not the original CVH. It's 1.8 Z-Tech R in this one. I mean, it's very nice. I'm not surprised in a way that he's replaced the CVH in this, because they weren't the best units ever. I've driven the 1.3 Escort from '85 and that wasn't very good either. It's amazing these sort of gear models, how different they look from the basic ones. All these sort of bits of, you know, chrome wheel embellishers and the headlamp washers and things like that. It's rather nice, viewers. Entrance to Hall 5, we have this 1987 Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.3 16. This is the Cosworth version, it really looks like it might be. It is rather nice. These are much more desirable than the standard 190es. They're much more expensive than those as well. Very, very big wheels for the time, aren't they? Very big ones. Yeah, what's that, sort of £10,000–15,000 or more? Here we go, being fully restored. Second place in the 2023 Pride Ownership competition. Right, let's show the ticket and let's go in for final day. Right, viewers, this is where we left off yesterday. I've just been speaking to Mr. Brooke from the Beards and Bangers channel. And this is the car that he's brought. This is a 2004 MG ZR 160 in biomorphic green, which is a monogram colour. See there we have some VVC action going on. I have driven some ZRs. The last one I drove was actually called a ZR Express, which is this van, very, very rare thing. We also had this engine, the 1.8 with 143 horsepower, variable valve timing system. As you can see, very much a project car, got some lacquer peel going on, got a bit of rust down here. It's pretty normal for one of these, to be honest. We've seen already some very, very nice ZRs. This one's going to have some work. He's got some other cars as well, of course. And then a ZS 180. This was the MG version of the Rover 45 V6. Until recently I owned one of those cars. Had it for 3 years. The ride is much firmer in one of these. This is a manual with a larger engine as opposed to the 45 V6, which is only a 2 litre with an automatic gearbox. This is a 2.5 and it has about 30 horsepower more than the 45 V6, so they're a bit faster. Otherwise kind of similar, really. This one has only done 19,000 miles, probably one of the nicest ZS180s I've ever seen. So there we go. That one we're going to have to skip, viewers, we can't talk about that, so we're going to move on to some Fords, and more Fords. The Midland Old School Ford. I thought it was a Midland Old School French, which is a different sort of thing. A collection of Escorts, Start off with a Mark 1 4-door. Most of the time the 4-doors don't see much at shows because they're not as desirable, but this one is interesting. It is a 1300 Super. It is lightly modified, but it's like it's some older modifications on this. It's a very much old school 6970 plate. Then a couple of Mark 2s. They're both 4-doors as well. They're not, these aren't the ones that people want necessarily, although I sort of prefer these in a way, because you can't make them to Mexico replicas. This one is a GL, it's a pre-facelift, maybe a 1.6, 75-76 registration. This is later, this is a V79-80, also a 4-door. Again, they're not immaculate, these actually, which is interesting to see, because most of the Fords you see at these shows are immaculate. It's nice to see ones that aren't and being used and unashamed of being here. That's wonderful. So you can see the grills are slightly different. One has a Ford sort of letters spelled out, one has a little oval badge, which means it misses a facelift one. Then we have a Mark 3. Interesting one. I think there's RS turbo wheels on this, but it's not an RS turbo, of course. It's probably like a LGL, I don't know. I drove a 1.3L in 2020. It's sort of similar to that, similar age as well, for 85, 86 on a C. Very early MGF. I think this is one of the first ones actually. It came out in 1995. There we go. Yeah, 95. So it's a very early one. Originally registered by Rover themselves, not MG Rover at the time, just Rover. You see the interior is quite funky, very, very 90s, isn't it? They got a bit more conservative later on, really. That. And the sort of contrast between this one and this one. This is a lot later. This is like a 2004 or 5. It's towards the end of the first run of MGTF production. Let's see what this is. It's a Spark, okay, special edition. It's 2005, okay, so it's only a few months before MG Rover went under. Obviously, we'll be going to Pride of Longbridge next month, viewers, because that's what we do. And yeah, wonderful. 400e.com. Standard to modified. This one looks like it's going to be modified at some point. This is a shell there. And this one's quite standard. NO, old S6 plate. Maybe this was registered by Ford UK themselves, I don't know. I was getting really confused between the Anglias and the Prefect. The Anglias are the 2 doors and the Prefects are the 4 doors. And then later on, when the sort of Harry Potter type Anglia came out in '59, the Popular came out, which was a sort of Prefect, but for a lower cost than the new Anglia. So yeah, this is a Prefect, I think. In fact, it's the original side valve engine in there. Probably is. So we're not looking too modified on this stand this time. Not very much going on really. You don't really get much in the way of instruments at all. Really kind of nothing. But then back in the 50s with normal family cars, they didn't really have anything at all in them. That wasn't the point. You'd have to sort of upgrade to a, I don't know, a more expensive car if you wanted luxury. We've got some, I believe, some more Fords here as well. The Ford Side Valve Club. That's it's extraordinary. A bit of a Model T, it'd be over 100 years old, won't it? Probably something like that. If it's a Thames or a Ford. Oh, it's a Ford, so it's neither. Shows how much I know. E83W commercial. Remained virtually unchanged. All of the older like films of 50s and 60s, you might see one of these, but probably not forgotten now. It's one of these vans. It's just a Thames van. I think Fordsons were sort of over by then. It's sort of based on the Anglian Prefect of the time. I keep forgetting the model code for those. And then we've got a Popular, but probably the previous to the one I was talking about here. This was the Sullivan Begg Popular, they call these. 103E, made between 53 and 59. I think my grandparents had one of these actually back in the day, way before I was born. A lot of these were converted into those drag cars, weren't they? This one hasn't been. It looks very, very standard. This was, I think, the cheapest car in Britain at the time, and you didn't really get anything. I think windscreen wipers were vacuum operated, so if you went If you went faster, you got windscreen wipers went faster, or was it all around? I can't remember. I don't remember now, viewers, because I'm ignorant and stupid. Right, another very, very old Ford here. This would probably be what, a Ford 8 or something like that. Not much sort of going on there really at the moment. Now there's something stand I've been looking forward to a lot, which is the Mark 1 and Mark 2 Granada guilds. They always have some beautiful, beautiful Granadas, and today's no exception. They've got some Mark 2s here, 82, 83 Mark 2 gear estate, quite possibly a 2.8. I think most of the gears were 2.8s, to be honest, if not all of them, for the Mark 2 facelift cars. This one is an auto. I've driven a manual one of these because Mr. Coleman, who is over there somewhere, he has one. He's had it in the family since new, and I drove it in 2019. Very similar to this one. This is a 2.8 on the carburetor. It's a 2.8 injection car, but they're very similar. Got a roof rack and things like that. Absolutely amazing cars. This one has just been restored. It is a Granada Minster. They're very, very rare. It's a stretched 4-door car. Specification is absolutely crazy on this, and it's had, you know, tens of thousands spent on it, and for some reason I think it's been changed to a Type 9 5-speed manual. Would have been an automatic originally. Minster was made by Coleman Mill, so we've got all the sort of shiny bits on there. Yeah, that is absolutely immaculate. Of course, as is this estate as well. But all those wheels are off. It's quite common on the Mark II Granada gear to put different wheels on them. See that one in the bottom right hand corner, those are Scorpio Cosworth wheels, because it's hard to get tyres for the original TRX wheels that we would have had back in the day. So again, rather like the other estate, 82, 83 on a Y. This one's also an automatic. It's got Chatsworth blue interior in this. Yeah, very, very, very nice indeed, viewers. While Mr. Coleman and his brother continue the work on the Volvo and the Alpina, we'll look at some Ford probes. So there we go, Ford probes were built at Flat Rock, Michigan, on the same production line as the Mazda MX-6. They're very similar to one of those underneath. Not a massive success in this country, unfortunately. So yeah, 1993 to 1997 only. You'll either get a 2-litre 4-cylinder or a 2.5 6-cylinder. This particular car, look at these wheels. Let's look at the back actually. They did tell you on the back what these were. Yeah, that's the 6-cylinder 24 valve 95-96 registration. I've actually been registered by Ford UK because TW was an old Essex plate. This one's a 16 valve. This one's been sort of modified with a 5-speed manual. Interior is very, very Mazda, isn't it? Very Mazda at the time. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not particularly like a sort of Ford of Europe cars. I'd really like to try a probe actually on my not Gareth Cheeseman. I would very much like to try one of these. It's a lovely colour, very, very 90s colour, this one. This is a 97, it's quite a late one. Wow, it's one of the last ones. This is a 2-litre 16 valve. Little friend in there is enjoying himself. One thing I don't think is the best on these cars is the it's the steering wheel. I've always not particularly liked it. Also, because it's a sort of Mazda-based car, you can also see on this that it's got the indicator stalk on the right-hand side, like a lot of 90s Mazda, like my old 323 was also 97, same year as this. It also had a right-hand indicator stalk. Now we've got some Porsche action. Okay, we'll actually read the information sheet here just to make sure what we're looking at. 996 Targa C2. It's currently for sale at MLR Porsche for about £26,000. 2002 to 3. 993. So it's a Speedster or something. Yeah, it's a 993 Speedster S. £300,000. I am going to have to stay away from touching this series in particular if you don't want any sort of problems. Very, very 90s colour again, this sort of bright orange colour. Next we'll have a look at this. Playing some work, red interior. Oh my gosh, a box star. Let's not say anything about that, viewers, because I might get attacked for my views on such things. 996 911 Carrera CS. Again, very bright colour on this. Be around maybe, what, 2000, something like that? Next we've got the Jaguar Heritage Trust. Old XK in there. That looks like an XK 140. I don't know. I'm not very good at this sort of thing. It's an XK 140. My gosh, I got it right for once. Then we've got a Mark II, 3.8 litre, 1965. We always see these at the auctions at the moment, viewers. They seem to be very sort of heavily featured in a lot of the sales. Unfortunately, they are going down in value, which is a bit of a shame. But there we go. V12 E-Type. Again, a car that's also dropping in value a bit. This one's had a 5-speed manual put in it, like the car that I drove in 2024. It was a 1972. That one I'm not quite sure. This is a roadster one I drove as a coupe. Very, very nice to drive the V12 E-Types. If you've got smaller feet, if you've got larger feet, you've got no chance. 2001 Jaguar XJ8 Executive. Ooh, viewers, is that a beige leather interior as well? With wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. Also got a nice V8 engine. And we've only got a single fuel tank on this one. Some of them have 2 fuel tanks because of, well, you can imagine why. And an XJS. Coventry plate, Jaguar Cars Limited registered. Again, very nice beige leather interior with wood. We're doing well. It's a 1990 twin turbo 4x4. Yes, that's an interesting prototype. It's something rather older than SS100 from 1938. Jaguar in inverted commas, it's a model name rather than the mark. Old English white. Obviously SS wasn't the best thing to call your car after the Second World War, was it? So that's why we changed it. The Daimler, Lanchester and BSA Club, yes. BSA did used to make cars, and actually BSA owned Daimler until 1960. And here is a BSA 10 horsepower light saloon from 1934. It's an impressive lift thing they've got here, viewers. Impressive sort of. I think they're working on cars in places where we don't have a ramp. Now this is very nice, viewers. Look at this Daimler. Yes, please, viewers. Oh, it's a Van der Pla. Lovely, viewers. And it's got a beige leather interior, and it's got some wood, and it's got a big, I think that's a V8. No, it's a 4.2 XK. It's even better. It's a lot more economical, easy to work on. This is a 1981 car. Oh, viewers. How we would like to have a go in one of these. The most agreeable, I think. Also most agreeable is this Daimler Dart or SP250 from 1960. No Jaguar involvement in this particular car. It was launched in '59 before Jaguar bought the company. Unfortunately, because Jaguar already had the E-Type, which came out in '61, there wasn't really any room in the range for both the SP250 and the E-Type. We've got something altogether far, far older than that. Yeah, another Daimler, you can tell by the grille. From 1925, so 100 years old. This particular car, 1655 Tourer. Let's take a look at the interior. Lots and lots of legroom in the back of there, actually. Feel very, how do you say, imperious driving around in that. So, Porsche 924 Owners Club. Hive of activity down here. Yes, the one I drove in 2022 in Scotland was a bit more complete than these. It's interesting, there's a reflective panel on the back, I've not seen that before. Then we've got another one here, it's got some fancy wheels. Is this a turbo model by any chance, viewers? Or am I totally wrong? It is a turbo. There we go, those are all the things that we're trying to do. Quite a high sort of lip to load your stuff in, but if you're buying a Porsche, why do you need to worry about things like that? Just buy yourself another car to use during the week. Guards red, this particular car. This is an S, that'll be one of the later ones. It'll have the Porsche engine as opposed to the Audi derived engine, but it's in the earlier cars. Changed it around, I think 1985 they changed it over. Very nice, that doesn't look like it needs much work doing it, to be honest. Morgan Sports Car Club, 1949 Morgan 4, but doesn't have a body at the moment. It's a, well, solid running chassis initially, and it's running chassis again now. And we've got a little tiny thing here. This is definitely pre-war one, isn't it? It's 1936 Morgan family model, 3-speed plus reverse. I'm not sure I can cope with that years. We'd have to have something a bit more modern. How about this one? It's a 1953 Morgan Plus 4 with the old standard Vanguard engine. You see this car here is much more modern. This is a 2009. It doesn't look particularly different from this one, which of course is the appeal of Morgans. They still don't look particularly different today. Lots and lots of wood. And then this one is from 2010 a 4.4 Sport. I've seen this car on a great number of occasions at the NEC. It's a very nice specification. Love the paintwork in particular. Black Country Classic Car Club. Capri 2-litre S. Early one actually. In terms of the Mark IIIs. Is that interior from a later car or something? 77. Actually, no, it'd be a 78 because that's when they came out. March 78, so 78 only that would be. Wow, oh, excellent. A Maestro van, it's a petrol, 1991. Excellent views. I thought we were going to skip it, but we don't have to. Let's have a look and see if there's a price on here. 5995. Call Neil on 07752868717. That's Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel who appeared in part 10 says, this could be yours. And a very nice Mark I Cavalier this time. It's quite a luxurious one actually, this. It's a GLS or something. That's a GL. I wonder if it's got the little 1256 in it, or if that says like a 1.6 or 1.9. What's the plate on it? So 7677. Then a Mini Cooper. This is a late Mark 6 one. Be a 96. Nice colour. Talking of Capri S's, here's a Mark II 2-litre S. This will be a 77. Looks very nice. Capris are such handsome cars. I mean, my personal preference is the Mark III because they use more of them in the professionals than they use the Mark IIs, but I like the Mark I and the Mark II as well. This one's a Type 9 5-speed gearbox retrofitted. It would have been a 4-speed originally. Yeah, it looks brilliant. Next, we've got something else which is also a definitive classic. A Mark I Golf GTI. This is a facelift one. It's a 1983. Amazingly, it's a standard car. It's not been modified or anything. So you've got those wheels on it. It's a campaign. A campaign, I think, has different wheels on it. So kind of austere, the early 80s Volkswagen interior, same with like a Mark II Polo, but that's in lovely condition. Then we'll go on and have a look at this Jaguar, I think this is D or C type replica. That That's a real one. Wow, it's a 58. Oh my gosh. I didn't realise you could just have one of those. I'd better not touch that because I'll get into trouble. Okay, how about Reliant Owners Club? We've got the Super Robin from 1981 here. I will at some point try one of these out myself for you. There's one on Great British Car Journey that I've been after for a while. It's a much later one than this, but ostensibly it's sort of similar. But another scimitar, and we're not allowed to make the association you want me to make. We're not allowed to do that, so we're not going to. This one is a 71. It's quite an early one. They came out, I think, in 68. It's got the 3-litre assets of a full Type 5 gearbox in it. And then we've got something much earlier here. What did they call these? Oh, a Regal Mark II from 1954. Oh my gosh. It's like barn find condition. I don't think we're going on the road in that anytime. Oh my gosh, the engine's just there. That probably gets a bit of noise, doesn't it? Ooh, very nice view. It's a Reliant Scimitar Sabre. It's be a late one for this shape, a Mark II. It's in 1994. Is that? Oh right, it's a Rover K series. And if it's a K series or a T series, it looks like a K series actually in this. To see what engine's actually got in it. Let's say, I think that's the K series. So we changed engines quite a lot in these. We had Ford engines, Nissan engines. It's very nice actually like that. And a much earlier one, which is on a B plate. So sort of 84, 85, and there we go, completely different engine in there. I think it'd be a Ford engine, but I can't remember which one it is. Oh, look at the information sheet, that'll tell me, won't it? Yeah, that's right. It doesn't even say. Oh well. And then we've got some more of these larger scimitars. That will be right before they change the engine, actually, won't it? To be about 1980. Yeah, it's a 1980 V6 engine. It doesn't actually say what year that one is. It's 72, 73. Typical kind of vinyl roof for the era with some, I think those are slot mag wheels. And then we've got some Bond bugs. Most of them were 700ES model and most of them were this colour. All of them look to have been registered about the same time. 72, 73. The last year of these was 74. Built on a Reliant chassis by then because Reliant had bought the Bond company. Absolutely amazing styling. Right, Midget and Sprite Club viewers. This one's a midget. Shows you what you need to do to repair the silt. It's a 69 Mark III. I've driven a 68 Mark III midget. Drove that in 2021. The brakes were sort of alright. The gearbox was tricky. This is what one of these looks like when it's sort of done. Someone's put a 5-speed automatic match gearbox in here, which is probably a good idea. Toyota gearbox, yeah, that'll be a bit easier to drive. 9-inch brake disc conversion, maybe with a servo in it, and we've actually been bought out to just over 1.3 litres. Does look very nice. 58 Frog Eye Sprite. The first year of the Frog Eye Sprite was 58. Much more sort of primitive, but very charming. Very charming indeed. Here's one that's been all done up. Classic combination, longish white and red interior. It's 59. Sebring Sprite. Wow. So 1960. Probably a bit better weather protection, one of these, than the standard ones. This front end's really quite different from the Frog Eye. Then a 76 Midget 1500, which would have had rubber bumpers on it originally, but it looks good like that as well. And then an Innocenti. I wonder what year this one is. It's been imported from Denmark a few years ago. Where on earth do you find stuff like this? It does look very, very nice. Very elegant styling. That's it for this part, viewers. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you again soon for some more incorrect information.